Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here and this is the start of my BookBuddyAthon Love Island edition vlog. I'm coming to you the night before BookBuddyAthon Love Island edition because I'm in a bit of a quandary. Tomorrow is the first day of the readathon and I will be starting, if I can reach it, down the end of my bed, this book, which is A Place for Us by Fatima Farine Mirza. This is the book that I'm going to be buddy reading with Tracy from Flamingo Reads, and that's great. We're going to be buddy reading that. Perfect. The problem I've got is, and it hasn't got the cover on it so you can't really see, for the last few days I have been reading this book, which is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Now, if you've watched this channel you might remember I'm not very good at putting down books and picking them up like a week later. I like to read one book at a time and I tend to like to finish the book that I've started if I'm enjoying it, which I am. I'm really enjoying this one. Now I'm not very far in, I'm about 100 pages in and it's quite a big book. It is over 500 pages. So I really am in a quandary because I do not want to put this book down, and because I know what will happen. It will get to the end of BookBuddyAthon and I will not pick it up again for whatever reason. Sorry, my hair's all wet. I've just got out the shower. I will not pick it up again. So I'm wondering if I can, not bully Tracy, but I'm wondering if I can convince her that this is the book she should pick for me to read, that she thinks I'll give 5 stars, and then maybe I can read this instead of the Creakers. Hi Tracy, I'm just sending you a message, obviously, on Voxer. I'm also using this in my vlog, so please no swearing when you, anyway, you don't swear, so I don't know why I'm saying that. It's just a joke in my house, because I always have, when I ring Jamie if I'm in the car and we've got it on like the loudspeaker in the car and Matilda's in the back, I'm like, no swearing, Matilda's in the car. Not that he swears that much anyway, but I always think it's quite funny. Anyway, long story short, I'm just starting my vlog for BookBuddyAthon and I've just been telling everybody I'm struggling because I'm currently about 100 pages into The Poppy War, which I've been really enjoying, and I hate putting books down when I'm partway through. So I'm going to try and bully you in the nicest way. How do you feel about changing your pick for me about the book you think I might give 5 stars? Have you heard of The Poppy War? It's a fantasy story. I'm really enjoying it. Check it out on Goodreads if you haven't heard of it, but I think you might have done. I think we talked about it maybe before. Yeah, how do you feel about picking that one as the book you think I might give 5 stars for the one that comes after our buddy read instead of the Creakers? Please. Okay, so it's the morning of BookBuddyAthon Love Island edition. I'm off to work. She's off to school. So there won't be any reading getting done this morning, but Tracy got back to me and said that she was happy for me to read that as her pick, that she thought I might give 5 stars. She's so lovely, although I do feel like maybe I've convinced her into this a little bit, but I'm really pleased. So I'm going to start A Place for Us today at some point, maybe just a chapter. It will only be a little bit today because I have got lots on. But then after that I will carry on with The Poppy War. That will be book 2.
Hello.
So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Hi guys, so it's Saturday. I've had my work party night out. Surprisingly, I feel okay. It was a really late night for me. Well, early. I got home about 2:30 in the morning after a night of dancing, and I still went to my bounce class, so I think that goes to show how much I'm loving bounce. 8 o'clock this morning, after about 4 hours sleep, I was up and I went to my exercise class. Yay me. I feel like we're friends here, so I'm gonna ask this week, I'm at school for another day and a half and then I will be off, that you don't judge me on the state of my house, because there is toys everywhere in my house and I'd like to say it's because I've just let it slack because it's the end of term and then I'm going to tidy it up, but I'm probably not. My house is clean. I like to hoover and clean the bathrooms and do all that, but I've given up on trying to keep toys tidy because
Anyone out there with kids will know that that is a never-ending job, especially if you're like me and you enjoy buying toys and you enjoy like playing together with your children. It's really hard. You accumulate a lot of things, especially when they start going to birthday parties and they get all that tat in birthday party bags which you think they'll never use, and yet all of a sudden it's like their favorite thing, some little tiny bit of plastic, and then you have to keep it, and then it all spirals a little bit. So don't judge on my house, and the playroom. I feel like I should show it to you now. Hold on. So, you know, it's not horrendous, but there is, you know, toys everywhere. So, yeah, as I say, we won't say any more about this. Anyway, it's about, what time is it? It's 9:30. My husband has taken Matilda to her gymnastics class, and then this afternoon he's taking her swimming. So this is going to be a lovely, relaxing day for me to get lots of reading done. However, I know I said to you I didn't think I'd read anything yesterday, but I did. I picked up my buddy read book, A Place for Us, by Fatima Farheen Mirza, and I ended up getting this on audiobook as well via Audible. Had some credits, it was on there, and I thought, okay, that'll help me get through it a bit quicker. And I listened to quite a lot of it yesterday, and actually for the first time I sat and I listened to it on quite a fast speed, but I was reading it at the same time in the book, and I've never tried that before, and I really enjoyed that experience. So I think that's how I'm going to read this book. So I'm about 70 pages in, and so far I'm really enjoying it. From all the reviews I've heard, it very much rings true to what people are saying. It's very much a look into these different generations in one family. The only thing I'm struggling with a little bit is, so far, the names and just keeping everyone on track, because it does seem to flit between timelines quite a lot fluidly. There doesn't seem to be much help. I think there is sort of a break sometimes, you know, like a page break where you get that bigger space between paragraphs, and I think often that is where it's changing. So I'm still getting to grips with who the people are and how they all intertwine together. You know, who's the mum, who's the I think it's the mum, the daughter, and maybe the son that we're following. But as I say, I'm still getting to grips with it, but I am really enjoying it so far. It's a really interesting look into this family, so I'm looking forward to cracking on with this today. But for now, I'm just waiting for my veggie sausages to cook in the oven, and I am about to watch last night's Love Island because I didn't watch it. So maybe we'll start watching it together.
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling. Previously on Love Island. Every day I'm hustling. There was drama at the recoupling.
George is the person I want to be with. I actually refuse to recouple.
Hi guys, so you'll have to excuse me, I am so tired. I really need to go to bed. But I wanted to talk to you before I did because I've just finished A Place for Us. And I know that I spoke to you earlier and I was feeling it was sort of at a 3 stars. I'd enjoyed it, but as I said before, I felt like it was more of a character study rather than a plot-driven novel, and that was something that I was struggling with. However, as the book progressed, I started to become more and more emotionally invested in the characters, and I really enjoyed that. It was a nice change, and I think the more the characters growed on me and the more like it plays with your emotion because you know them so well, and because this is a story fundamentally about relationships between family members, a father and a son, and the mother and sisters with their brother. I really enjoyed seeing all those different aspects, and actually the audiobook was really well done because you had 2 different actors depending on if it was a female or a male thought that you were reading about, and I thought that was really effective. I really enjoyed the father's perspective, I think the most out of all of it. I think as you went on as well, you started to get more used to this flitting between sort of flashbacks and things like that, so that started to make more sense.
So I did end up giving this one 4 stars in the end because I enjoyed it more than I was expecting. So I'm really pleased that I read that. I'm now going to pass this one on to my nan because I know that she wants to read it. So I'll be putting that in a pile to go to her. And I'm going to be moving back onto The Poppy War, which is a fantasy book that I had been reading before the readathon. I'd only read 100 pages and it is over a 500-page book. So I feel like the rest of that book is enough for a book choice for the readathon, and I didn't want to leave that book for too long without coming back to it, because I think you sort of invest yourself in this world and this idea, and it's good not to leave things because then you have to read them, and I find that I struggle to get back in and do that. So I did manage to convince Tracy to pick this one for my next read as one that she thinks I'm going to give 5 stars, and I will let you know how I'm getting on tomorrow. Okay, so it's nearly 9 o'clock in the evening and I am about 100 pages to finishing The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which is my second book of the readathon. I was a little bit worried actually because I'd read the first 100 pages and I was really enjoying it, but I've heard a few people say that maybe just before halfway through things took a dip, it changed, people didn't like it after that, and I was really nervous, but I am really enjoying this. It's really action-packed. Our main character, Rin, has grown up in an adopted family. She doesn't know where she's from, and at the start of the book she has reached a marriageable age. They're planning on selling her off for marriage. The adopted family she has lived with her whole life are opium dealers and not very nice people. But she wants to go to this academy that trains up soldiers and trains them in sort of different things, martial arts and law and history. And so she works really hard to get into this academy and manages to get in there. And then we follow her on her journey from there on in. The people that she meets, the politics, there's magic in there, there's gods. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There was a bit of a lull halfway through for maybe 50 pages where I was a bit like, oh, this is going in a direction I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy, but that I persevered and carried on, and now I just can't put it down. I just need to know what's finished, how it's going to finish. But I have to stop because Love Island is on for the night, so I'm going to watch that, and then I am going to come back to this and try and finish it tonight or tomorrow. But it's well on the way to being at least a 4-star read for me. I'm so pleased that I'm one of the people that is really enjoying this, because it's quite a big book, and I just needed a really good book to pull me out of my slump. One thing I would say, for any of you that are thinking of reading it, there is a section in this where there is atrocities to women that are described in graphic detail, which made me cry and feel quite ill. So there is a section in there, so just be aware, that talks about sort of, there's rape but quite brutal, and atrocities to babies, and yeah, that there is some really hard-hitting and graphic stories, parts to this, so be aware of that going in. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, so I'm gonna watch Love Island and then I'm gonna finish it off and I'll let you know how I get on. Okay, so I've just finished The Poppy War. It is Monday at about 10 to 7, and I have finished The Poppy War, and I'm really pleased I read this and that I wasn't put off by what people said, because I ended up really enjoying this. It was a strong 4-star read for me. I'm really pleased that I read it. I'm definitely looking forward to the next one in the series. I can see why so many people have been raving about it. And I liked it for various reasons. I enjoyed the fact there was no romance. I enjoyed the fact that we had this interesting but flawed female character. Our female protagonist is strong and yet naive and not completely perfect. She's flawed. Her decisions are flawed, and I just think that makes her really real, and I really enjoyed that. It was quite a refreshing idea that the decisions she made weren't always nice. They were sometimes hard and nasty, and she made difficult decisions. Sometimes she made decisions that were based purely on her own feelings and what her wants were, and she didn't consider how anyone else might feel. But I just felt quite real, and I really enjoyed that, so I gave it 4 stars. So because of that, I follow the path down, which means that I read a book with which my buddy has given me a buzzword, and Tracy gave me the buzzword of star. And so I'm going to be reading Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake next. This is a book about a young girl. She is one of twins. She has a twin brother, and her best friend has accused her twin brother of rape. And this follows the people that are affected by it. It follows our main protagonist, how she feels about her brother, how she feels about her friend, how she feels in the aftermath of this shocking allegation. So I've heard this is really moving. I'm looking forward to reading this. So this will be book 3 that I'm about to start, and it is Monday, so there is still time for me to read all 7 books. I finish school at lunchtime tomorrow. I will have time to read throughout the day, the days coming, hopefully. So fingers crossed. So this is the next one. Wish me luck, and I'll check up when I've read some. 5 stars. This was a 5 stars. Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake was the book that I've been waiting for. Oh, I've literally just finished reading it, and I feel a little bit broken. To describe the story by its synopsis, you know that you have twins, a brother and a sister, and the brother is accused of raping the sister's best friend, or one of the sister's best friends, and that is what you know. And I was expecting this to be a story about trials and set in a courtroom maybe, and this wasn't like that at all. This was a real look into women and men, and how women are made to feel, and the injustices of a flawed system when it comes to the law of rape and proving things, and family, and the bravery it takes to speak out against something that's happened to you. And God, how hard that must be if it's your brother, and how that must feel if it's your brother and your best friend, and who do you believe, and how do you know, and when you do know, how do you make the decisions based on that. And there's just some wonderful LGBTQIA plus sorry, I can't make coherent thoughts. There's some wonderful LGBTQIA plus representation in here. You've got bisexuality, you've got lesbians, you've got non-binary characters. Yeah, it's beautifully written, it's beautifully powerful, it's contemplative, and a well-deserved 5 stars. I'm so pleased that I read this. So 5 stars, yay. This can go alongside Lisa Heathfield's Paper Butterflies in books that made me cry and that I will be thinking about for a long time to come. So that is 3 books I've read this readathon. The next book, I believe, is a book that is set in a country that my buddy would like to visit. I am changing my TBR for this slightly, and I am picking Bombay Blues by I can't remember the author's name, but I will show it in my next clip. This is a sequel to a book I read a while back, which again, the title is escaping me, but I will tell you about it more. But this is the sequel, and it's set at a wedding in Bombay. So I'm going to read that one next. I'm going to let this one sink in. I probably won't start the next book till tomorrow because I just want a bit of time mulling over this one in my head. But 5 stars. speak to you soon. Hi everyone, so it is now Wednesday and I've just finished Giant Days Volume 7. This is the book, I've skipped a book. I need to read a book set in India still, but I started the book I was going to read, Bombay Blues, and I didn't enjoy it and I wasn't enjoying it, so I've put that down. I found another one that I'm going to try, but I'm just waiting for my Kindle to charge up. So I will be reading a book set in India, but in the meantime I read the next book, which was the pick of 3 from Tracy, which was Giant Days Volume 7. I love this graphic novel series, as you can tell because I am on Volume 7. I really enjoy the artwork, I don't know if you can see it there, and I really enjoy the storyline of these 3 young women who are living in a UK university and their friendship and trials and tribulations of university life. It does take me back to my university days, and so I gave this one a solid 4 stars. I'm now going to move on to my final, or what would be my final book, but I've got 2 books left to read, which is the 7 Imperfect Rules of Elvira Carr, which is by Frances Maynard. I received that one for review. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I will come back and tell you a bit more about what it's actually about once I've read some, and then after that one I will be backdating and going to read my book set in India, and then that will be it. So 2 books to go and I will have completed the readathon, and I've got 2 and a little bit days to do that in, so fingers crossed. Not many plans for today. Today I am just going to be chilling out until I go to my bounce class later, which is my exercise class. And then I've got all evening, although obviously I will be watching Love Island. And then tomorrow I need to film a load of videos because I haven't put many videos up on this channel recently, so I'd like to get some videos that I need to get done and do some editing and stuff, and then more reading, so I should have plenty of time to get through the books, so fingers crossed. But for now I'm going to be starting on the 7 rules of the 7 Imperfect Rules of Elvira Carr. Hi there, so I'm just editing this video and realised that I have deleted me talking about the book I read, which was my diverse pick. I didn't end up reading the 7 Imperfect Rules of Elvira Carr. I ended up reading a book called Rosie Loves Jack, and I really enjoyed this book. Let me go and get it. This is an ARC copy, so not what it will look like when it comes out in September, but this is Rosie Loves Jack by Mel Darbon. This follows our main character, Rose, who has Down syndrome. She has a boyfriend called Jack at college, and her and Jack are both 16. She loves Jack. They have a wonderful, pure, innocent, beautiful relationship involving picnics and cinema trips and meeting for hot chocolate after college. I loved that. Jack has a temper, he struggles with anger, and nothing towards Rosie ever, but just sometimes he gets angry and throws things. He gets into trouble at college one day and ends up getting taken away to Brighton to a sort of residential home, and Rosie can't live without him. She doesn't know where he is, she doesn't know what's going on, her parents won't let her see him, and so just before Christmas she you know, about a week after he's disappeared, she decides that she's going to go and she's going to get the train to Brighton and she's going to find her Jack, who she loves dearly. She finds postcards he's been writing her that her parents have kept from her, and so she sets off on this journey on her own. And as you can imagine, she doesn't have much experience of doing things independently, although she does feel independent in herself because she is allowed to do some things. And this is about the people she meets on the way, some of whom are really wonderful, some of whom are not wonderful. We look at homelessness, we look at some of the people that might prey on young people who are alone in London. We look at the type of people who steal from people. There was so much in here, so much wonderful stuff. You can see Matilda creeping. I've asked her not to because she's not got a top on.
Don't say that.
Well, they've all seen it. You've been in the video, so hide down there for a minute, please. And I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was brilliant. It was refreshing to see a character who you don't often see in books. It was a diverse read for me for sure, and I definitely recommend this one. So 4 stars. Now back to the rest of the video. Hi there, so it's now Friday, it's the final day of BookBuddyAthon Love Island edition and I have completed all my challenges, yay! I managed to read my final book, which is the book set in India, which is Queen of Ice, and I really enjoyed it. Not enough to give it 4 stars, it was probably a 3-star read, and this was a YA historical fiction set in India. So this is set in 10th century Kashmir, and our main character Dida is a girl born to a king who despises her for both being female and for also having a lame leg, and so he marries her off to the desolate ruler of Kashmir, and there she has to learn how to forge power for herself as a woman, how to live and how to become more than just who she is to everybody else, learning how to rule, learning how to be a strategist, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like there was more chances there to have been a bit more impactful, but I liked the different points of views we were getting. We were getting the point of view of Dida and also of her sort of helping maid and also of one of her other friends. So I enjoyed seeing that. I just felt like, yeah, there was something lacking. I felt like it was a bit more of a sort of surface level look into the life of Dida. I didn't feel like we got enough emotion from her and enough substance, I suppose. So I ended up giving it 3 stars. I'm pleased I read it. It was a nice little read, but yeah, it was just a 3-star read. It's quite short. I think it's only about 150 odd pages, so it was the perfect one to finish this off with, to make sure that I managed to complete all my challenges, which is good. And so I'm really pleased. I'm really excited that I managed to do it. I never really complete all the books, and I had a 5-star in there and it was brilliant. A Girl Made of Stars was definitely the highlight of my week, so I'm really pleased that I managed to get to that one. So anyway, I'm off now to Yalk. I'm going to be filming a vlog while I'm there, so hopefully that'll be up soon. Then I will be vlogging BookTubeathon, and then I will potentially be vlogging some in August as well on my holiday. So lots and lots to come. But thank you any of you that took part in BookBuddyAthon Love Island edition. I hope you enjoyed it like I did. Let me know what you read down below, and did you get any 5-star reads? Let me know. And look, can we all appreciate the Space Unicorn exercise trousers? And on that note, I'm going to leave you. Bye for now, BookTube.